Hello and welcome to the FoodiePEDIA 365 podcast, the podcast series where we talk about career transitions, personal growth, and the lessons that shape who we become. I'm Patrick Oayi, and I'm glad you are here. In today's episode, we are exploring a simple but uncomfortable question. When last did you learn something that did not promise a reward? No certificate, no promotion, no money, no applause. Just learning for the sake of growth. Why should you take interest in this discussion? Because we live in a world that constantly asks, what's in for me? And slowly, without realizing it, we begin to learn only when there is a visible payoff. But some of the most powerful lessons in life don't come with rewards, they come with wisdom. Let's talk about that. Talking point 1. How rewards hijacked our curiosity. Think back to when you were a child. You asked questions because you were curious, not because you were going to be graded for it. Over time, school, work, and society trained us to associate learning with rewards, grades, certificate, salaries, titles. According to education research, extrinsic motivation gradually replaces intrinsic curiosity as people grow older. We begin to ask, will this help my career? Instead of, will this help me grow? Why is this important? When curiosity dies, growth slows down. Learning becomes transactional instead of transformational. And we risk becoming adults who only grow when there is something to gain. But here is the deeper question. What kind of learning actually shapes character? The rewarded kind or the unrewarded kind? Let's talk about that. Talking point 2. The power of learning with no immediate payoff. Some of the most valuable things you will ever learn won't pay you immediately. Research in neuroscience shows that learning driven by intrinsic motivation creates deeper neural connections and longer retention. Things like learning empathy, patience, self-awareness, or even reading philosophy. They don't come with bonuses, but they shape how you think and live. Think about it. Learning to listen better, learning to manage your emotions, learning to think critically. No reward, but massive long-term impact. Why is this important as well? Unrewarded learning builds inner strength. It prepares you for moments when life doesn't clap for you, and it often becomes the foundation for success later, even if you don't see it immediately. So, if unrewarded learning is so powerful, how do we relearn the habit of learning without incentives? That brings us to talking point 3. Talking point 3. Reclaiming learning as a personal discipline. Learning without a reward is a discipline, not a trend. Behavioral studies show that people who schedule learning for curiosity, even just 50 minutes a day, develop stronger problem-solving skills and higher life satisfaction. This could look like reading something outside your profession, learning a skill you will never monetize, reflecting, journaling, or thinking deeply. No audience, no applause. Why is this important also? Because the future belongs to people who can think, adapt, and reflect, not just those who collect credentials. Learning without reward strengthens your identity, not just your resume. What are your key takeaways in this podcast? Here is what to remember. 1. Not all valuable learning comes with rewards. 2. Curiosity is a muscle. It weakens when ignored. 3. Learning for growth builds depth, wisdom, and resilience. Looking ahead, ask yourself regularly, what am I learning just to become better? Not richer, louder, or more visible. That question can reshape your life. Today, we talked about the importance of learning without promised rewards, how curiosity fades, why unrewarded learning matters, and how to reclaim learning as a personal discipline. If this episode made you pause or reflect, please rate, review, and subscribe, or follow the podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen. It helps the podcast grow and reach more thoughtful listeners like you. I am Patrick Oai. Thanks for listening, and remember, the most powerful learning often happens when no one is watching.